You'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan? A Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can
Morning,
choose the
Facebook
term
folks.
that's best
What's
for you,
up? What's
anywhere
up?
from 8 to
Morning.
30 years.
Morning.
The rate today on an
Morning.
8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to quickenloans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
First in financial news, this is Business 1110. Now you know which way the market is going. Let's find out how your traffic is flowing. This is Business 1110 traffic.
North side of the North Loop, pretty slow between 59 East Texas. I say pretty slow. You're running 30 miles an hour, maybe even more. The closer you get towards 290, but the delays don't end until you get around the corner on the southbound side and past the Katy Freeway. Astros took it on the chin last night as Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they played horrible. I was at the game last night.
McHugh on the mound to try to redeem
They were bad.
There's still time for that family vacation. Galveston Island is the place for your
Mom's
thrill-seeking
watching.
family.
Morning, Mom.
Bond, Pleasure Pier, and Speedway
Morning,
for
Andy.
Galveston Water Adventures.
Morning, Valley.
Helicopter rides.
Good
Now
morning.
at galveston.com.
It's estimated that 9 out of 10 individual
My
investors
screen's
fight a
just
losing
expanded.
battle
They're
against
actually
the big
seeing that.
institutions.
Right.
So what can you do about it? Hi, I'm Mary Beth Motisi, owner of
'Cause it's
Online
easier for me to
Trading Academy
read
here in Houston.
the questions
Listen to
people
Power
ask.
Trading Hour to learn how the markets really
When
work
it-
and how to
they're
think and
like
act
that.
like the professionals. Call us at 281-820-8905 to register for our complimentary half-day class. Find out more at HoustonOTA.com.
Do you ever
and listen
wave
to
to
Power
Mom?
Trading Hour weekdays at
I can.
2 p.m.
Hey,
on
Mom.
Business 1110 KTEK.
I do some weather stuff back here, you know, just
All this
Oh,
moisture
yeah.
coming up out of the
Coming
south.
up out of the south.
yeah. right. How do you know where south is?
Well, of course, down here. Rain in San Angelo.
Right, yeah.
When your warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. A vehicle service contract just
All right.
makes sense. And a
So
vehicle
apparently,
service
if I'm here, I'm
contract
out
with
of
Toco
the
warranty
screen.
makes the
So I
most
need to
sense. Many
set
other
up a little
companies
bit.
hit you with a large down
There we go.
payment. With Toco, there's no down payment. And with Toco, you can pay as you go with
scoot over.
affordable payments.
Yeah.
Don't waste another minute.
Oh,
Pick up the
Mom's
phone and call
texting.
Toco right
I guess she
now.
doesn't realize
Start
she can
saving
talk.
big money
Morning,
on
Ginger.
expensive covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle. The monthly price
right,
for
gentlemen,
most plans
60
about the
seconds.
cost
All
of a
right.
tank of gas per month. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-269-3100. That's 800-269-3100. 800-269-3100. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
When you go to work in the morning, you have plenty of choices. However, only one
Yeah, do you see this Amazon stock hit $1,000 a share?
It's the Sam
That's a
Malone
190
Show. We take issues seriously and try to put
PE
a smile
multiple.
on your face too, along with JP
190
Pritchard,
years.
Chuck
Yep.
Tiller, and
Yeah.
Tom Fontaine.
Well, that's
Sam
good.
Malone
Yeah, 100.
covers
You
everything.
buy it now at
Getting
$1,000
the
a
truth,
share. If they
letting
pay
you
out
know
all
what's
the
really
dividends, and now
happening.
they've never
The
paid out
Sam
dividends at
Malone
all. If they
Show.
paid out all their
Weekday mornings
profit
from
in
7 to 8
dividends,
a.m. on Business
you
1110
recoup all your
and
money
FM
back
96.1.
in 190 years.
Sounds like a good deal.
The following program does not necessarily represent the views
Maybe.
or opinions of the
Or
staff,
not.
management, or ownership of this station.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
Did it play the disclaimer about these views are not necessarily the views of the state?
Yes.
It did? Did I miss
Yep.
that? Oh.
Yes.
Get ready. The
All right,
guy that
guys,
will put
stand
your
by.
fears behind you is on the air
All
now.
right, fellas. Hot
Taking
mics
calls
in
at
5,
713-785-1817.
2,
Toll free
1.
877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Hey, welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817 is our call-in number. Excited to be joined with the guys from Fast Track, a new guy from Fast Track.
Hey.
What's up, Dad?
Oh, just everything. Morning, son.
Morning, Pa. For those of y'all don't know, because most of y'all wouldn't know, that my dad, about 5:30 in the morning when you wake up every morning, you text me, morning, son, and I respond whenever I get up with morning, Pa, unless I'm too busy in the morning, in which case.
You're about the earliest one to get up.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I'm joined also Elijah, my brother Jeff, who's normally with us in the studio. He is He is out at a camp today with his family. So at Pine Cove Camp, my daughter's at a Pine Cove camp, and so we've got my dad in the studio. So they're with Fast Track, an investor-friendly general contractor. They do if you're looking for buy and hold, buy, fix, and flip remodeling. If you're buying a house that needs work, then you're obviously getting it at a discount. That's where we add the biggest value in investment properties.
Right.
So my dad wants to talk about proposals needed for detail. So let's talk about that.
Well, what I'm trying to explain with that, you do not like my term Dr. Doom.
That's okay. You can be on the show. You can be whatever you want.
What I talk about the things that nobody else wants to talk about.
Yeah,
and
liabilities and what can go wrong, right? Yeah, because if you prepare for the worst case scenario and then nothing surprises you, right?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to explain is that investors, when they get told by a contractor, we can fix that.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Right. Yeah, because a lot of times contractors, instead of walking out with an iPad and having a system and a process for walking through methodically and catching, like starting in the entry room and catching, starting with the flooring and then the baseboards and then the walls and the paint and the light fixtures, kind of working from bottom to top and then going room to room, from the entry to the living room to the dining room to the et cetera, the kitchen, breakfast room, et cetera. A lot of the other contractors, I'll call him Jose in a truck, not trying to be...
Chuck in the truck.
Yeah, Chuck in a truck, that'll be good. So, they walk out with a legal pad, right? And they basically, they write down kitchen, they write down bathroom, they write down living room, and then they write down a price like $19,400.
That's right.
And and there's not enough detail to like, what does that mean? I mean, these are all rooms. Yeah, we agree that these are rooms and what they are, but what are you doing in that room?
They're not specific. And
right.
we've seen...
They're not detailed.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've seen competitive requests that I swear could have been done on a Big Chief tablet with a crayon.
Yeah.
And a bottom line of $49,000, and it says, we'll take care of that.
Yeah, right.
And I'm going, okay, what does that mean?
It means everything when they're selling. It means a whole lot less when they're delivering the final product.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, no, that wasn't included. No, sorry, that was not included.
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So
they want it very ambiguous on the front end because then there's no accountability on the back end, right?
Absolutely right.
Yeah, and so the system that y'all use,
right.
it's an iPad app that unfortunately is not available on the App Store. It's only available on y'all's
This
apps.
is the detailed version, right? Yeah, we have a quick estimating thing that you have at Right Path that is quick and close. That's always the theme before you put it under contract. But after
10 minutes to get within 10%.
Right.
Yeah.
But afterward, you want to get as detailed as you can. That's what we.
Yeah, because what you want to know is like if a buyer goes in and they're expecting all of the switch plate covers to be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, it's not. I mean, a switch plate cover is only about what, $2, something like that.
Maybe that.
If that. But it's not just the $2 pulling it off. Who's going to pull it off the shelf and who's going to get it to the job site and what about the tax on and you got to take the screw off and then sometimes it's a little bit loose. So there's it could be $10 or $15 to install one of those, which is not a ton of money. We're talking about a $49,000 bid. A switch plate cover's not.
But if there's 50 of them,
well, and there's rarely 50, but there could be 20 or 25, something like that, and that adds up. Yeah, it's $200 or $300 of a difference. Sure. And again, on a $49,000 bid, $200 or $300 is not that much, but you should be having that conversation on the front side. What's the expectation, not on the back side? So it's like, hey, do you want us to change out the switch plate covers? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Well.
To be clear, that would be switches and switch plate
of
covers.
Course, right. Yeah.
But it's
outlet plate covers and switch plate covers.
It's not just the switch plate cover. It's the idea that if you paint over them and you didn't cover it, then somebody's got to get back in there later. It may be a $200 item,
right?
But it's the appearance of what that looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So that is true, and I do see it a lot where somebody says to me, I say that we've been up about $1,000, $2,000 more on a bid, and then I said, well, are these ideas that we're presenting and the scope that you and I talked about, is it the same on the other proposals? And a lot of times
they don't have a way to know. Right.
And because they talked about it, because you said maybe we didn't talk about that, but I've even had it where they've talked about it with people, but it isn't necessarily reflected once you get down to the details. The details are important.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a contract, and we've seen a lot of competitive companies that don't utilize a contract, if you don't have a contract, there's no stipulation as to how the work gets done, the scope of the work, the body of the work, when the work's going to be
Yeah,
done.
the time frames, right.
And time frames and how you expect to be paid.
Right.
You know, we've done close to 800 houses. We've never been sued. We've never had to sue anybody.
Right. Yeah, you've gotten paid.
We've always gotten
and you've always
paid.
done the work, right?
Sure.
Yeah, y'all haven't. Not only have you not been sued or had to sue anybody, y'all have never had a complaint.
That's right.
I mean, that's crazy. In the general contracting world. So, what's the best number to reach you guys?
It's 832-742-9992.
And if I want to go to the website and look for before and afters, what's the best website to take a look at?
Yeah, I'd just go to fasttrackremodeling.com. There's a link to our Flickr account there, but there's also some before and after pictures on the website.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when we're talking about contracts, I think it's good for people to know that they're not having a contract directly with all the people doing the work when they're contracting with Fast Track.
Yeah, they don't have to get a bid from a master electrician, from a master plumber, from a foundation guy, a roofer.
Now we make contract with our workers,
right?
But when we do that, if they fail to uphold their end of the contract,
sure.
Fast Track's still going to make it right for our clients,
right?
So that's a huge difference. There's someone between the two of the client and the actual worker, not just from an insurance standpoint, which is huge,
right?
Because they may not be updated with their insurance, or may not have enough, or may not have it at all, depending on the contract.
Many of them have it not at all.
But we're actually able to cover that at Fast Track, and the difference between if it wasn't somewhat difficult to manage these inexpensive contractors, then we wouldn't even exist as a company. The concept of a general contractor, especially a turnkey general contractor, exists because it is difficult to manage the process with the people. I shouldn't say difficult. I should say it's time consuming, and if you don't watch yourself, you can actually get taken quite a bit in the industry. So we're part of that in between help for every client.
Well, and one of the other things, or another point I'd like to make, and I think is very important, is in lien waivers, is that we certify that we pay all of the people who work for us. We pay everybody who works for us on a Friday. We pay every bill on a Friday. So if you go take a $49,000 house and you do a $49,000 rehab, but you don't pay the contractors, and the contractors come back and file a lien on you,
that's a problem.
And the guy's scampered with the money, then you're going to have to pay the contractor. You've already paid him. Plus, you're going to have to pay the sub that he didn't pay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the number one thing to point out, though, is that y'all, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, y'all have done almost 800 houses.
That's correct.
And so, you don't get to 800 houses doing a bad job, obviously.
Right.
Because you can't expand and grow unless you're doing, above and beyond superior service.
That's right.
So, again, what's y'all's phone number?
832-742-9992.
And what's the website address?
fasttrackremodeling.com.
Perfect. Okay, so you also want to talk about general liability and workers' comp?
Well, general liability, I think what a lot of people don't understand is the difference in a general liability policy. And there are two different things that you need to look at on a general liability policy if you get a certificate from your contractor. Number one, is the policy written either on an occurrence basis or on a policy basis? And in a short term, what that means is if it's written on a policy basis, the coverage stops when that policy expires. So if a guy gets injured on your job or he has some major catastrophe on December 30th and his policy runs out on the 31st, you didn't file the claim before the end of the policy period. What you want to look for is you want a policy written on claims made or occurrences so that if 2 years later the guy comes up and dies or whatever the case happens, then you can go back in the policy.
I don't know that most investors ever consider whether or not the contractor has a general liability policy. I mean, it's a major thing that they should be looking at.
Right.
And it's, what I realize is that most people, when they're buying insurance, background in insurance, that,
Sure.
but a lot of the listeners don't. I have a background in insurance, and what I always found is whether you're buying health insurance or you're buying, not so much in life insurance, because that's pretty simple. It's either going to pay or it's not. You're either fogging a mirror or you're not. But health insurance, homeowners insurance, those kind of things, you always want the cheapest coverage until you're filing a claim, and then you want the best coverage, right?
Right.
And and in this situation, it's like they're relying on the contractor to be picking the best policy, not necessarily the cheapest policy. But it's almost like investors, I think that it's one of those situations that the claims happen so rarely, but when they do, it's typically a big deal.
It is.
It's a really big deal. And so, yeah, I think that most investors probably don't give the weight of that decision enough due in the pricing, so that when they're saying, well, y'all are, $1,000 more expensive than somebody else, 9 times out of 10 what I find is it's truly not an apples to apples, because most of your competitors, although they're pretty good tile guys or sheetrock guys or painters, things like that, they're not very good business people. And I think that's what's different about Fast Track, is that y'all really run it as a business, a professional business that gets in, gets out. Y'all have plenty of scale, plenty of capacity. I mean, it's consistent work week in and week out. So, hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Our call-in number is 713-785-1817. The best number to get a hold of the Fast Track guys is 832-742-9992, and their website is fasttrackremodeling.com.
That's right.
There's lots of before and afters. And
you got to go look at it.
And you're going to be at the event tonight, right? So if you want to find out more, y'all can show up at our event tonight, 11451 Katy Freeway, Suite 360. It starts at 6 o'clock. There's going to be lots of networking. Vendors are going to be here. Fast Track's going to be here. Walk up, ask them questions, see their process. They'll show you the iPad app, how they walk through. They can walk through a virtual house if you want them to. So thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Mic's off, guys.
Thanks, Nikki. All right, bye.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1.
Okay, so Nikki, we're going to do a mic check.
Hello, Nikki.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
How's her volume?
I'm going to have her go up a little bit.
All right, sounds good. You're on 3.
Then you may have foundation.
Oh, my heart's so frizzy.
It's
too late now.
All right. Probably not a question of if
Is this a script?
Well,
oh.
Yes. I wrote a play for us. Yeah. These are your lines.
Makeup. Oh, that's right. It's radio.
No, it's just common myths with appraisals.
Okay, cool.
Kind of when I was talking last time at y'all's last event,
yeah, right.
as well as the Private Money Summit. Yeah, I think that'd be good to cover.
Perfect.
If you want to.
Yeah, sounds great. Let's do it. Cool. Now, I'm expanded here. It only shows me because I'm trying to read the comments here. This is what we're actually seeing. You like the backgrounds now?
I know, this is epic.
I know, right? You like it?
I look so professional and like a real company.
Right, yeah.
Which we are.
Which don't think that we're not when I say I'm surprised by that. Right.
This logo I paid very little money for.
Fiverr, it rocks.
Yeah. Look no further than Noble
No, actually,
Mortgage.
it's nice.
Noble
We
Mortgage
can slide out of the way. Look.
Mortgage company
Oh, yeah.
helping
Yeah,
investors
look at that.
since 2003.
Ta-da.
Mortgage offers up to
Second
100%
job is Vanna
financing
White.
to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs.
Man,
In
she
addition
turned that
to
into a
private
career,
money,
didn't she?
Noble Mortgage
Yeah.
offers conventional loans,
New wardrobe every day.
Who knew? Right. Ball gowns. I don't know where she can. Not like she can go grocery shopping. Why is Van always shopping in a ball gown?
about a 5-point guarantee, which includes
Yeah.
free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713.
And I wrote my own answers down, so you're
Okay,
going to have to let
good.
me read them.
Yeah, sure. No, that's a pop quiz. Dang it, I wrote the questions.
I know you asked those questions at the event. You're like, what's the median price of homes right now? And you looked right at me, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but why are you looking at me? It's gone up, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 209, something like that.
Yeah.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment
All right,
property?
sounds good. 1 minute.
Call Fast Track Remodeling at 832.
Man, so those are all the logos right there.
Yeah.
Or reach
Yeah, I
us on
can.
the web at
Yeah, like we had Fast Track up, so I'm not previewing that. This is what's live. That's a
specializes
preview.
in
So
modeling of single-family investment
I can
properties.
switch. You know,
Whether it's
benchmark,
a
foundation
flip
check,
rehab or a
JB
rental
funding,
rehab, we
legacy,
manage every aspect of
noble,
rehab from start
patent,
to finish with a highly
Propelio.
efficient,
I like
standardized
Propelio.
process.
Yeah.
Over the last 6 years,
PropertyCare,
Fast
like
Track
properties
has
are
completed
going to be up
over
next.
700
Quest IRA,
projects,
and then
which has helped
when
us
it's just
to
Jason and
create
I,
our
just
3
our
keys to
City
success.
Skyline.
Y'all are
Use a detailed
Superman.
scope
Yeah.
of work so that everything gets done. Train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done
Yeah,
fast.
we're actually doing it like
No
all
more managing it
pro-like.
yourself. No more doing the work yourself.
I know.
Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at
Alright, so praise value probably over.
832-742-9992.
All right, we're coming
Again, that's
back.
Yeah, I did this last night, so I don't even remember what's on there.
832-742-9992,
Yeah.
Or reach us on the web
Maybe
at
I should have printed too.
fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
Call Tom at 713-785-1817.
All right, you two. Hot
And
mics
look
in
for us
5,
on Facebook
4,
Live at
3,
facebook.com/RightPath
2,
Real
1.
Estate.
Hey, welcome back, Right Path Real Estate Radio. So we did a quick change during the break.
Very quick.
And now Michelle Emler with NextGen Appraisals. She's in the house. What's up? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm great.
So let's get right into it. You brought some questions. Actually, you brought, here's a myth about appraisals, and then here's the reality. So let's dive right into the first one. So the myth that you wrote down is the appraised value of a property will vary depending on whether the appraisal is conducted for the buyer or the seller.
Correct. I think.
Wait, that's not true?
No, the value is the value, right? So it doesn't matter
But if I'm
who's
the buyer, I want it to be less. That way I can buy it for less. So it won't get a...
Doesn't matter
But
who's
if I'm the
asking.
seller, I want it to be more.
Yeah, I know. I know what you want. The reality is it doesn't matter who's asking the question. It's still going to be the same answer.
I mean, it's not like it's swayed just a little bit because
You can ask me. So if you're a lender, I'm going to tell you an appraised value, and you're going to say, okay, well, is that a conservative number, or what range on the value is that? And I'll go over the comps with you, and I'll tell you, look, this is our lowest comp, so the home is worth at least this much.
Right, but it could be up to this.
But it could be up to this, right? So.
Because it's never an exact number. It's not like $137,456.12.
Right. Yeah. There's not this like wonderful algorithm that I can just plug a bunch of data into and then bam, I have a value.
Yeah.
So it is part art, part science, like you always say. I think it is a lot of technique and a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, but at the end of the day, it's an estimated opinion of value. It states that very clearly.
Well, I mean, the value is really that's determined by one thing, right? It's what a buyer and a seller agree to, right? That's the sales price.
Yeah.
When a buyer and seller agree, now then the bank says, oh, wait a minute, it's good that a buyer and seller agree, and that's all great. And if you pay cash, y'all can agree all day long, but as long as you're using someone else's money,
right? This is what they've asked
somebody
for.
else's opinion matters also, right?
Correct.
Yeah, because nobody wants to lend on $1 million house that's not really it's only worth $300,000. Because that's when banks lose money, right?
Exactly. They want to protect their investment.
Right. And it doesn't have to be banks. You're hired by not only banks because you work for a lot of mortgage companies.
Yes.
You're also hired by private money lenders.
Yes.
You're hired by hard money lenders.
Yes.
Yeah. You're
by you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So actually, we had an interesting story this past week. We had one of our investors actually made an offer at $127,492, and it got accepted.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of made it seem like it was now.
It's a very precise number. That $2 made a big difference.
Well, in fact, it's funny that you should mention that because when the agent wrote up the seller's agent wrote up the contract, she said, "I'm only going to write it up for $127,490." Yeah. And then so it's one of our students that was asking the number, and I came up with a number.
Why didn't you just do $127,500?
Yeah, because it seems like it's a much more precise
number.
number.
Your psychological warfare. All right.
Sometimes there's some of that going on. Okay, so there's another myth. Appraisers use a formula such as a specific price per square foot to figure out the value of the home.
Yeah, we actually just talked about that. So yes, I think a lot of people use the total sales price, so they use the total price per square foot.
Yeah.
And then they just...
Well, because when you're looking up on HAR or whatever that, in Dallas it's Netris or any of the others, that, HAR makes it really easy to see this is a 1,400 square foot house and it sold for $104 a square foot.
Correct.
And so you say, well, I've got a 1,550 square foot house and I'm going to multiply that times $104 a foot and there's my number.
Right.
But there's a problem with that.
There is a problem with that because that sales price includes the location.
Yep.
Which location. Everybody decides where they want to live before
But
they
it's the
decide the
same
home.
neighborhood, Michelle. Why does
Well,
that?
you just answered the question. It's the same neighborhood. The neighborhood didn't increase in value when you
Right.
increase the square footage.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to calculate what's the benefit of having that more square footage.
Yeah, and even within a neighborhood, though, there's the better lots than other lots. You know, if you've ever dealt with developers going in and doing a brand new section, they don't charge the same price for every single lot that's in that development, right? There's premium lots that might have a view of water, or might be on a golf course, or maybe a cul-de-sac, or thing. And then there's inferior lots as well. You might get a discount. I mean, I remember when we bought out in Greatwood that there was a house that backed up to like a water storage tank, and if you were willing to take that lot, I think you got a $7,500 concession. We didn't want that, but yeah.
Some developers actually even take it a step further, and almost every developed neighborhood now has some type of community amenities, pool, tennis courts, whatever. The lots nearest that are also now considered premium lots.
Yeah, because they're most likely to be able to use those things, and people that would value that would be willing to pay more, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and people that won't value that won't.
I'd rather pay, we'll say, $7,500 for the lot closer to the community pool instead of paying to have a private
paying
pool.
$75,000 for. I'd pay $7,500 more for the lot to be close to the community pool than pay $75,000 to build my own.
And then I don't even have to clean that pool.
But being close to the tennis court, I don't know that that's a good thing because people are going to have the lights on and playing tennis.
I mean, I don't play tennis, so it's not really a benefit for me.
Right. Okay, so let's deal with the next myth. Because consumers pay for appraisals when applying for loans to purchase or refinance real estate, they own their appraisal.
This is probably the biggest myth there is, and that is it does not matter who pays for the appraisal. It matters who orders the appraisal. That is the client. That is who has rights over that appraisal.
Okay.
That is the only person the appraiser is allowed to communicate anything with unless that person gives permission or authorization to talk to others.
Got it. So if I'm the buyer and my mortgage company orders the appraisal, then the mortgage company actually owns the appraisal. It is the mortgage company's appraisal, yes.
Yeah,
and so the mortgage company, unless they give permission to the appraiser, you can't talk directly to the person paying for it.
Correct.
Yeah, I can imagine that creates some arguments. Okay, so appraisers can only use comparables that have closed in the last 6 months.
This is another really big myth. 6 months or less, 3 months or less, 90 days or less are preferred.
Yeah, right.
Those are the golden comps.
Yesterday is the preferred.
Exactly.
In fact, preferred is the house right next door to your house, and it has the exact same elevation, the exact same square footage. Everything is
stealing my line.
Yeah,
but
exactly,
yes,
right.
that's exactly right. But that's not always readily available.
Yeah.
And so you need to decide if you're going to go further out or further back.
Right.
And sometimes it's best to go further back.
Yeah.
You can actually use comps that exceed 12 months. That's very
legal?
rare. Fannie Mae allows it, so it's legal.
Yeah.
I've only had to do that one time in my entire career. And the reason being is that this was a multifamily property and there were no other multifamily units sold within 13 miles in the last year.
Wow.
But there was one in the exact same community that sold 13 months prior.
Oh, okay. So you'd rather go 13 months rather than 13 miles.
So it wasn't my comp 1 through 3. It wasn't my strongest comps,
Right.
but I definitely put it as comp 4 to say, hey, this is what's going on locally with this market. There's just nothing right now that I can show you.
So segues to a great point that you're with NextGen Appraisals, and you do not only residential, but you do commercial as well.
We do two. We're all residential appraisers, but we can do 2 to 4 unit family properties.
Okay. And so what's the best number to reach you?
713-346-9911.
And what's your website address?
NextGenAppraisals.com.
Okay. Next myth. The subject or property being appraised cannot be used as a comparable.
What do you think? Don't read the answer.
Oh, I think it can be if it was sold recently, and assuming that it hasn't changed condition, things like that, because somebody could have bought the house 6 months ago. That establishes a value for that house because it's what a buyer and seller was willing to pay for that property 6 months ago, and it could be selling 6 months later. You could have a death in the family or all kinds of things that could happen, and they're selling it quickly. There's all kinds of reasons. I think it could absolutely be a comp.
It is a comp. As long as nothing's changed about the property, and it cannot be comps 1 through 3. It has to be a supporting comp.
So if there was a fire, then something's changed.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Then it's not a comp anymore.
No.
Yeah, because that's the important. Condition matters, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
you'd much rather live in a clean, nice, updated home than a dirty.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, well.
Okay, so, all right, next myth. The bigger the list of amenities, the higher the valuation.
Yeah, I use this analogy a lot. It's you go to a grocery store and you have a shopping cart, and the more you put into the shopping cart, the more worth that shopping cart has. And that's not how real estate works at all. It's not the more you put in a house, the more it's worth.
Right.
And so,
what do you mean? Tell me what that means.
So I use a joke saying, well, if you put granite on the ceiling, you know, that would be extremely expensive, and I don't even know how you would do it, but who cares? Nobody wants granite on the ceiling, but it would cost a lot of money.
Right.
It's not adding value to the house.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Same with pools, right?
It also means that there's locations also that in one of the examples that we give a lot is that, let's say a guy wins a lottery and he grew up in a trailer park and his mom still lives in that trailer park, and so he decides that he wants to build $1 million house. He buys up all the trailer park lots right around his mom's and he builds $1 million house in the middle of the trailer park, so that she can be happy living where she's always lived, right?
Right.
And then if mom passes away and he wants to sell this house,
the trailer park mansion,
it's not worth $1 million.
Right.
I had a specific house that was like that. A guy was involved in the BP explosion and apparently got a big settlement and built this really large 11,000 square foot house, lots of bedrooms, lots of bathrooms, in a neighborhood where all the other houses were like 3,500 square feet, and they were about $350,000, but it was in Texas City, and you would not want to have this $6 million house.
That's not the median price range in Texas City.
Yeah, he was well, let's just say just because he had a lot of money didn't mean that he was a good money guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a difference between the people that create their own wealth versus people that either inherit it or they win it or they earn it through a settlement or something like that. He'd made some bad choices. Okay. So, again, what's the best phone number to reach you?
713-346-9911.
Okay. And then the website address?
NextGenAppraisals.com.
Okay. And so you're going to be at the event tonight?
Don't be mad at me.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
make it.
All right. So if you want to talk to Michelle at the event tonight, you're just going to have to miss out. But what you could do is you could show up to the event and there'll be a table set up where she should be, and then maybe you could stand right there in front of her table and text her a message and ask her lots of questions.
Yes. Why
or
aren't
even
you
call
here?
her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Feel free to call.
Hey, there from time to time there are conflicts with the schedule. I know we put on a lot of events, so you've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Our call-in number is 713-785-1817. And Glenda, after the break, we'll answer this question. And thanks so much. Hey, Carlos, what's up? So Glenda's asking, cost of appraisals, how is cost arrived? Does it cost more for acreage than residential? You want to answer that? So that
I don't know if I understand the question.
How much does it cost to do an appraisal?
Oh, $450 for a full appraisal. But if you need something appraised on acreage, we would have to give you a custom quote. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's
going to take a lot more time to do. Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully that answers your question, Glenda. All right. Thanks. I got to do a quick change.
Remember to check for every repair. Call 346-702-3825, or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started NextGen Appraisals. NextGen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992.
How are you?
Or reach us on the web at
Hey,
fasttrackremodeling.com.
we're going to do a quick
specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties.
It's Jerry
whether it's a
Ta.
flip, rehab, or a rental rehab.
Oh, he's not.
No more
He's
managing it
reaching
yourself.
for his headset. There we
No
go.
more doing the work yourself.
All right, we're
Fast
on number
Track
3.
Remodeling.
Checking. 1, 2, 3. Checking.
So
1,
give
2,
us a
3.
call today at
Excellent. Okay.
742-9992.
Time is money in a real estate deal.
Cool.
If your insurance company is slow or
So we've got your
non-responsive,
background
we
logo
deal.
now. On
Looks good.
You like that?
Yeah, I do like that.
Turnaround quotes, binders,
Yeah,
and the
like,
agency for that is
Maybe you should like
Benchmark.
raise it up or something.
PropertyCare.
The team at
Ah,
Benchmark
yeah.
understands the investor mindset.
So.
They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts. Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas.
Hey, what's up, Daniel?
281-569-4353. That's 281.
So, Glenda, hopefully that answered your question.
4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned about the new TRID rules and closing on time?
You can
I'm Jennifer
rate-
Hernandez,
Okay.
Senior
Yeah.
Loan Officer.
You got it where you want?
Legacy
It was
Mutual
uneven?
Mortgage.
That's
Yeah, it
what
was
I
uneven.
Mastered the 30-day close.
I don't know how
Because
people still like that. I
on-time,
need it even.
tons
Yeah.
of communication.
Yeah,
You'll
when
have
you're
a
like-
dedicated team of a
Well, this one was like way up here.
contract to close
So I was like-
associate. Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Have you ever
You know what probably ought to do is have everybody's phone number up at the top above the logo. Just get Andy to add that. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Phone number, website?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe website underneath.
Right.
Get you the info you need to close a deal. Propelio
If it was up
is
in
a
that space up
brokerage website
above,
that gives you
that'd be
instant
awesome.
24/7 access
Oh, so that's what the side of my head looks like.
I think Facebook Live is freezing up here.
Yeah.
On everyone else.
Apparently it's
Get a
glitching.
free 7-day trial today by going to getmlscomps.com now. That's getmlscomps.com.
Are small returns
could be
getting
my
in the way
system.
of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906
wonder how many people know what up to a 13%
or visit our
waterfall
website,
is.
I don't think so. I was actually thinking the same thing.
Is that right?
I mean, there needs to be a little bit more, some context around 13% waterfall.
Are you a realtor or seller
Although I
that is
think,
concerned
you have to
about
be
the
a,
new TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer
an
Hernandez,
accredited
Senior Loan
investor,
Officer at
and I
Legacy
think most
Mutual
accredited
Mortgage,
investors
and we have
know
mastered
what a
the 30-day
13% waterfall
close.
is.
We close
Yeah.
on time, accurately,
That's once all the
and with
management fees get
tons of
paid.
communication.
Yeah.
You'll
Right.
have a dedicated team of
for the
a
most part.
coordinator and a contract
Yeah,
to close
it's actually-
associate. Give me a call today
it's
at
that they get paid first.
713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
This is Business 1110.
Call Tom at 713-785-1817.
All right, fellas,
And
hot
look
mics
for us
in
on
5,
Facebook
4,
Live at
3,
facebook.com/RightPath
1,
Real
hot
Estate.
mics.
All right. Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. 713-785-1817. Did another quick change. PropertyCare's in the house. What's up, Jerry?
You know, just hanging out, trying to do some work, talking on the radio for a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what's the best number? So you're property management.
Yeah.
And you're our property manager.
Yes.
So we want all of our rental properties. We don't want the phone calls from tenants. Not that we get that many,
Right.
because we fix things on the front end. That's one of the tricks to, secrets. Shh, don't tell anybody. The secret is fix everything on the front end, and you don't
make it look nice.
Yeah, make it look nice.
And get a good, decent tenant that's not going to accept
screen
trash.
properly, and then once you do that, then you can kind of set it and forget it, right?
Right.
Yeah, and so one of the things I love is that y'all have flat rate pricing for only $85. Not like it's secret, right? Shh,
Right.
It's so you've got special pricing, $85 per unit, and whether it's a duplex, that's 2 doors, right?
Right.
And y'all handle the leasing, y'all handle the phone calls in the middle of the night, y'all handle all that,
Right.
And you have systems and processes. That's we're all about teaching systems and processes, and we also are all about hiring people that are 10s at what they do.
Right.
So we consider you a 10 in the property management. So if somebody's considering becoming a landlord and they want to talk to you about, pricing and all that kind of stuff, even though we've already said it's $85 a month, sometimes people are like, wait, it can't be that simple. Yes, it is. What if my house is $3,000 a month? How much
Doesn't
will it
matter.
be? Still be $85.
Correct.
Well, what if I've got a $900 a month rent house in the hood? Well, it's still $85 a month.
Right.
And you don't take all properties, right?
Not all. I mean, we try to be selective.
Yeah.
There's certain areas that I would say that we probably prefer not to work in, and we'll talk about it if you have a property. So we always ask for the address first and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there are areas that are a little bit too far for us. For example, we don't go down to Galveston Island or anything like that. So
It takes forever.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just
and you know what? It's also hard to get trades to go down there. I mean, there's just a different attitude. If you try and get people that are on, first off, try and get trades to go that aren't on Galveston to go down there to do work. Most of them don't want to do it.
It's not worth their time and effort.
And then you start working with the people that are on Galveston Island, and it's like there's so few of them that are any good. The ones that are good are super, super busy, and they're terrible at communicating and all of that. It's just,
right.
Oh, don't get me started. Or you already have. But anyhow, so where else do you not go?
Like going to the north, we do Conroe, but close to 45 Conroe, not like deep in to the left or the right.
Yeah.
So we say Greater Houston. We go as far as Katy. We won't do anything like I think Brookshire or Fulshire or
Fulshire, Brookshire. Yeah. Fulshire's kind of tough to get to too.
Yeah, those are really, really far out for us distance wise, and we just don't have. We just wouldn't, be able to service it correctly.
Right.
We just don't have the trades. We don't have the contractors that would be able to go out there and do a good job.
Yeah, and I don't know that Fulshire's a big. I mean, it's a big community for people, owner occupants, to live there. But I don't know how many non-owner occupant like rental properties are out in Fulshire.
Right. Not Fulshire, but I think we get a lot of inquiries for Brookshire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's a little bit too far for us.
Yeah. Yeah, Brookshire's it's an interesting community. I remember when I was in high school, leaving for college. That was my cut through to get to A&M. I'd always go out I-10 west to Brookshire and cut up 359 to get to Highway 6 to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nothing much out there.
No, I've never been out there, and I don't plan on to either. So.
Yeah, right. So what's the process if I'm a brand new investor? How do I engage you guys? How do I find out more details? How do I get questions answered? What's the best way to do all of that?
You can give us a call at 713-489-7653 or send us an email at info@propertycarehouston.com. And my recommendation is, you know, once you're under contract for a property, and even maybe before that, just send us an email and see, you know, ask us what we think about the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, there's always got to be some context around it, you know, depending on what kind of your investing strategy is. But,
right.
You know, we'd be glad to, you know, talk, or if that's something we willing to manage or not.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so about how many properties are you managing now?
We're close to 400 properties.
That's fantastic.
At the moment.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you? I mean, I don't think anybody listening right now can envision. You know, managing 400 properties. I mean, you must have systems and processes to do that. So, Daniel said, "How did PropertyCare get started?"
Actually, it started with me owning my own rental properties.
Is that right?
Yep.
And so, how many did you have?
So I have 14 right now. I think once you get about 8 or 9,
yeah,
that's a full-time job.
It is.
So
now,
I had 2
I know most people
jobs.
don't think that managing 8 or 9 rental properties is a full-time job. What makes it a full-time job?
It's the leasing starts off. Once the tenant gets in, right, there's going to be a punch list of items that probably need to get fixed.
Right.
Also, nothing is ever perfect.
Right.
So, you know, making sure that tenant's happy because they just paid you security deposit, first month's rent, pet fee, whatever.
Right.
$3,000, $4,000.
Right.
And they go in the house and they're like, oh, there's a few things wrong.
Yeah.
And when someone pays that much money,
hey, the dishwasher's making a funny noise or something like
exactly.
that.
Or my ceiling fan is shaking, you know, out the ceiling. So that part alone right there is it is a timely process.
Yeah, so you need quick customer service, right? Yeah. But I think the other thing that people don't realize is like, okay, I've got 9 properties, no big deal. They all go vacant at the same time, and you lease them all up, so you're busy like one time, and then you're done. And like, no, it doesn't work that way. It seems to work out that if you've got 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 properties, that you pretty much have a property coming up like every single month. You're always working on the next new property. You get a vacancy, you got to get it cleaned out, you got to start advertising for a new tenant, you got to update, you touch up on paint or anything like that, get the carpets clean. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do. I mean, you got 2 or 3 weeks worth of work, and you got to start screening all the tenants, and then you got to start, you know, running credit and do background checks and all that kind of stuff. And then, I mean, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
And it becomes a full-time job.
And the worst part about it is, I mean, what is this, you know, at that point, once you get to 8 or 9, or even, you know, however much that you feel overwhelmed, is that, am I planning on buying more?
Yeah.
Because if I want to buy more, then all my time is taken up managing the ones I have.
Yeah.
So do I still want to continue investing, or do I want to start managing properties only?
Yeah, because if you've got 9, I mean, if you buy more and you get to 18, it's like twice as much work. It's not like it's easier to do 18 than it is to do 9. If you're doing it all yourself, the more you get, the more time it takes, and it's not scalable. I mean, and you're trading time for money at that time.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people say, well, in fact, I know there's a real estate investing group in town that, you know, buy single-family houses. It's a great passive investment.
Nothing's passive.
And I laugh, you know, until you get to about 2, until you're buying even buying a 50-unit multifamily, it's not passive, because that typically can't afford internally as a business model its own property manager. So you're managing that yourself, and it doesn't seem like that the type of people that are renting apartments in a 50-unit project are the same as people that are buying or renting single-family houses, right?
No, usually not.
Yeah, it's usually because the rents are cheaper. Otherwise they'd be renting a house, right? If they could afford a house, they'd rent a house.
So just think of your tenant quality.
Yeah, it goes down.
It goes down.
Your turnover goes up. Your headache factor goes up. I mean, it's a lot. So until you really get to about 200 units is what the research, all the economic models we've done. Until you get to a multifamily that's got about 200 units, you can't really afford to have in-house property management where you
Or
can turn
on-site.
it on-site. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. So what's the best number to get a hold of you?
It's 713-489-7653. The one thing I really want to talk about is what's going on in our industry.
Let's do it.
That it's, and this is, I think, not just our industry, but even like of airplanes flying, emotional support animals. So, you've always heard of service animals, like, if someone's blind or something handicapped, but now all the rage right now is that people are finding ways around it where they can register their dog
as so they can take their dog wherever they want to.
Yeah, on the airplane or put him in a house.
So are people actually, instead of having to pay a pet fee, they're saying I'm required to you can't charge me a pet fee because I'm required to have this animal,
right?
Because it's an emotional support animal.
Yeah, and this is my first time running into the issue, so I'm kind of learning along the ways too. But we have a tenant right now that's gotten a Labrador and a pit bull, and he's registered both as emotional support animals. And I like to throw it out to the crowd is that what I found out is that in order to have a qualified emotional support animal, you have to have a prescribed note from a psychologist, not a regular doctor.
Like it has to be probably a psychiatrist, right?
Psychiatrist, psychologist, like a mental professional that says that you need to have this dog for support. And that's my experience. And
did the tenant have that?
No, he does not.
No,
but they're fine. Obviously, they're disputing that.
Sure, right.
The
that's
requirements.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone's flown lately, but I'm sure people have probably seen a lot more animals, pets and dogs on the airplane.
Yeah.
And I was sitting together with some flight attendants on a bus back to my car. And there's that one flight they had like 6 dogs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and she's like, I'm so allergic to dogs, but
right.
you can't do anything about it because they got their letter and stuff that
2 minutes.
They're allowed to have.
That's cray-cray.
Yeah.
That's just straight up cray. Well, that might explain. We were flying back from L.A., and I probably saw more dogs in the airport in L.A., not in crates or things like that, just dogs on leashes.
Exactly.
Walking around the airport that I've ever seen before. And I'm like, well, maybe it's just L.A., but maybe they're just, doing it before we do. So I don't know. That was kind of strange.
Yeah, so, I'm part of NARPM, which is National Association of Residential Property Managers.
Yeah.
And, our big discussion right now is regarding emotion support animals, and we're trying to
come up with standards
or some kind of lobbying to, really address, because...
Does NARPM have an attorney on staff?
I think they have a lobbying and stuff like that to, really try to identify the issues what property managers are going through. And, they've recently just put out a survey to try to get, hey, what kind of issues are people going through?
How often is this coming up? And that kind of stuff? Yeah.
And it's coming up more and more at this point. So that we're trying to get in front of it, I guess. Maybe it's a little too late, but we're trying to address it somehow.
Yeah. So how's it going with this one particular tenant?
Well, like I said, I'm doing my research.
Is he real combative, or is he
He's combative. I mean, obviously, no one wants to get rid of their dog.
Sure, right.
So he's.
You're not asking him to get rid of the dog. Oh, actually, because it's a dangerous breed, right?
Yeah, it's a dangerous breed also at the same time.
Yeah, and so did he admit that he had the dog on the front side?
No, he just this came up recently.
Oh, after he was already in the place.
Yeah.
So he basically lied on the application when the question about do you have any pets was asked.
Right.
So can't you get him just for that?
Right, but now he's coming back with the whole emotional support.
I'm allowed to lie. That's illegal. That's illegal.
But it's not a pet.
Right. Well,
according to him, not that we agree with it, but according to him, it's not a pet.
Okay. Well, maybe that you have to change the wording in that. Do you have an emotional support animal or any pets? Maybe change the questionnaire.
I think that's what we got to do.
Yeah. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Give us out your phone number one more time.
It's 713-489-7653, or send us an email at info@propertycarehouston.com.
Man, it's always great having you in the studio. So
yeah,
see you soon.
Good to be here.
You're going to be here tonight?
Yes, I will be.
Great. If you want to talk to him, come to our event tonight, 11451 Katy Freeway. See you on the other side of the break.
Mike's off.
Thanks.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders. The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Have you ever experienced the pain of trying to get MLS comps for your hot lead? If you've lost deals waiting for MLS
How much time's left?
Understand the frustration. How much would it help you if you no longer had to wait for a real estate
3.
agent to get you the info you need to close a deal?
All right, thanks.
Helio is a brokerage website that gives you instant 24/7 access to high-equity lead lists and comps with access to a network of the top real estate agents. Get an edge on everyone else. Get a free 7-day trial today by going to getmlscomps.com now. That's getmlscomps.com.
Rehab loans, conventional loans, FHA, and no-income documentation loans can seem scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process. Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property, Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started NextGen Appraisals. NextGen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the
How much
extra
time?
mile for you.
Minute. Oh,
This
wow.
way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.
That was nice that your dad got to come on.
Yeah, right.
We can't wait.
Yeah. Did you watch it on Facebook?
NMLS
I did. And I saw the logo on the back. I like it.
Nice.
NMLS 514.
All right, here we go. Stand by.
This
Yep.
is Business 1110.
Call Tom at 713-785-1817 and look for us on
All right,
Facebook
Hot Mics in
Live at
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. We're the real estate education company. Jason and I, we bought, fixed, and flipped over 400 houses in the last 4 years. And we've not only flipped, but we've also done some wholesaling. We've also done buy and hold. We're still actively involved in real estate on a daily basis. I think we've got 4 closings going on this week, some that we're selling, some that we're buying. So we're actively involved. So we see when changes, even minor changes, are happening in the marketplace. And we bring in experts to share that information. You can call in, ask questions. You can go to our website. You can also come to our events that are free. You can go to rightpathrealestate.com right now. Sign up for our free event today. One of the very first things that investors struggle with when they're first getting started, you know, they'll watch these shows on TV, they'll watch the Flip This House, they'll watch all these different shows, and it makes it seem really, really simple. They find the house, they're buying it at, if it's in Vegas, they're buying it at an auction or something like that. They go in there, you see them arguing with the contractor and all the drama and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really happen like that, guys. But one of the things you got to get good at is estimating the cost of the rehab. You've got to be able to put together an accurate budget. It doesn't have to be down to the penny, but you've got to know the difference. It's interesting. I used to go on a bus tour with another real estate group and show investors what it would cost to estimate a house. And we'd walk 6 different houses in a day. But I would always go the day before and walk the first house that was going to be on the tour. And what I'd do is I'd come up with a full scope of work, spend the full hour like I would walk it with a regular investor. And what was fascinating, let's say that the number was $47,000. Let's say it was $47,280 and some change. And that was like total bill to give that full remodel. I'd have a full bus full of folks, of investors. Maybe there's 50 people on the bus. 95% of the people couldn't get within 20%, much less within 10%. And the range was just ridiculous. I'd have some people walk the house, all it needs is some carpet and some paint, and that's $5,000. And I've other people go the full other extreme and go, oh, no, this is a $100,000 rehab. I mean, how far off they were was just mind-boggling. And so to be able to get good at estimating what the cost of a rehab is. I mean, imagine if you could walk in and take a contractor with you on every single deal that you look at that's walked almost 800 houses or over 1,000 houses, or actually, in this case, I think I've walked almost 3,000 houses. Well, you don't have to take me with you, but you can take my knowledge with you because I can teach you all the shortcuts. So today, if you want to know what it will cost to fix that, you need to register for our event. It's free to come to. It's going to start at 7 o'clock. And that's when the event actually starts. So that'll be at 11451 Katy Freeway. It'll be in Suite 360. We're going to have free food and beverages. All you need to do is register. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. The event is filling up quickly. There's only a few spaces left. So you want to register for the event. And oh, thanks. And then you also want to listen to, there's also on our website, rightpathrealestate.com, there's podcasts, there are informational articles, there's a blog on there, there's information about our weekend retreat where we go back and teach everything that we've learned over the last 4 years about how to buy, fix, and flip houses, how to wholesale houses. It's about all the systems and processes we put in place. Imagine if you could go back to the very beginning and join us along this journey. You can't do that, but you can join us from where we are right now and move along faster. You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Jason will be in the studio tomorrow. Thanks for listening, guys.
All right, Tom. Have a good day.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks, Facebook folks.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio.